Schlockmeister fans, this is an odd one here. The Killer Inside Me. Let's check it out.
I'm absolutely sure, but I think I became the deputy sheriff around November 1964. This is Central City, Montana.
So Stacy Keach plays Lou Ford, local sheriff.
Ford, I say what goes around here. Now this is my yard.
Like I said, it's up to you. Even though I like to read books, I never was a very good student in school. I think the highest grade I ever got was a B in his head. You can imagine that didn't sit too well with Mom and Dad being teachers and all. There was always a lot of talk about exams around our house. I just couldn't. Then he...
And Tisha Sterling plays Amy, his girl.
And he walks her home. You know, she's funny, though.
She wants to get married, but Lou's a little hesitant.
Has to walk.
Sometimes fights break out in jails.
Now will you get that greaseball fag out of here? You make me sick to my stomach!
I really wanted to share my problems with Amy, but I just couldn't. Every time I tried to, that sick feeling in the pit of my stomach seemed to close everything off. So...
Don Stroud plays Elmer.
That's right, Sheriff. Ooh, look the way she's twitching around. Oh, she wants it, Lou. You know, they all want it no matter what they say. Oh, Elmer. Lou, I got this redhead. Oh, you ought to see her. The way she...
Susan Terrell plays Joyce, local prostitute.
Trick or treat.
Some want to run her out of town.
Big boy.
In fact, the sheriff has been asked to get her out of town.
Who are you?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave town. If you're not out of here by tomorrow at this time, I'm going to have to take you down and book you for prostitution. Understand?
You lousy son of a bitch.
Apparently he had a rough childhood and he's got a violent streak in him.
Sorry.
But they end up in bed together anyway.
Love it.
She enjoyed it.
What's the matter?
Amy.
Who is she, Lou?
What are you talking about?
You got cheap perfume all over you.
Oh, that.
Who is she?
A hooker. I was with a hooker tonight. I had to run her out of town. You know I do.
He loves her.
I know I don't want to lose you. And I will if we keep going on like this.
She wants that next step and he wasn't doing it.
Look,
Well, Elmer goes out and uses Joyce's services also.
It's just some liquored up copper miner.
Some liquored up copper miner. You tell me you do this shit, I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch.
Elmer, you're not gonna kill anybody.
Well, then you got nothing to worry about.
All kidding aside, I think it's best all around that that woman leaves town. Would you see that she goes? The sooner the better.
I'll take care of her.
Joyce tries to blackmail Elmer's father.
Let's get to the point. Your boy Elmer did this to me.
And she wants $50,000. Amy wants to break up with him.
I know you're sorry. And I'm sorry too because I can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't want to see you anymore.
I need you.
He convinced her to give her a second chance, though. Or I should say, another chance.
I need you to love me. You gotta give me another chance.
That Lakeland woman. I want you to pay her off and run her out of town.
He's going to give her the 50 grand.
Elmer, I got $50,000.
Shit, I know all kinds of women, Lou. She'd never do a thing like that. Not her. I love this girl. My old man's even gonna give me $50,000 to get her out of town.
Well, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd take that girl, I'd run off with her, and I'd get married.
But she doesn't want Elmer.
God damn it, I did it. I did it. I didn't
She wants Lou.
50,000 smackaroos. We're on our way, honey. I'm gonna pack up my bags and I'm gonna burn them. Good idea.
But he wants her to go with Elmer instead.
Joyce, it's just not gonna work. I can't see anymore.
We kind of dirty up the family name. Joyce or jail, honey. What's it gonna be?
And he thinks he's killed her. And then when Elmer comes and shows up, Joyce isn't dead yet.
That woman's still alive.
We're treated to a flashback from Lou's youth. He may have shot his mother's lover or something.
I never asked you where you go.
Lou is questioning this guy. It seems like he might be trying to frame this guy for the two,
But you can ask me anything.
or for the one murder and the one assault he did. Joyce hasn't woken up yet.
I don't understand.
I killed her, Johnny. I killed both of them. Now don't say I couldn't do it. Don't say I'm not that kind of guy. Time to live
And a few seconds later,
and a time to die.
not sure exactly what he did, stab him or what, but he killed him. And then we're going to set him up for the two. We meet John Carradine.
Yes? I'm Dr. Smith, Jason Smith. I'm thinking of starting a practice here in Central City, and I heard your house is for sale.
Yes, it is.
Turns out he was sent to spy on him because the other cops now think he's guilty of everything.
You tell the next son of a bitch they send out here to spy on me, I'll kill him. You understand?
Of course, they're right.
I'll tell them. Let's go pick him up.
Everything's gonna be all
He's
right.
planning to get out of town quickly with Amy. And then he snaps again.
It's gonna be all right.
After he killed Amy, he steps outside and the cops are there, and so is Joyce. That's our movie. Alright, let's talk about The Killer Inside Me. This is a movie that I rented from a video store in Manitowoc, Wisconsin that was called City News and Video. I'm not sure why I rented it. It must have been in the horror section. It's not really a horror movie, though, but I can't remember even what the box looked like. It probably looked something like that, but I guess because it was horror, I rented it, and there you go. Didn't actually watch it, I don't think, until probably late 90s or something like that, early 2000s, I don't know. I know I watched it once, but nothing stuck with me. I knew nothing about it. Until again today, I watched it now. So anyway, the movie itself is, I guess, based on a book by a guy named Thompson, Jim Thompson or something like that. I can't remember. But, we have a sheriff here named Lou Ford. I guess he had a rough upbringing. His parents, I don't know, maybe it was his parents or just his mother. They were a little, they beat him a little bit. And he just had a rough childhood. So now he's the sheriff in this town in the middle of Montana somewhere where not much happens. And he has a violent streak that comes out periodically. He ends up meeting this one prostitute named Joyce, who a couple people want to kick out of town. He ends up, she hits him. He hits back, hits her a lot harder, obviously. But then they start, in the midst of this beat-up, which she kind of enjoys, I guess. They start kissing, and the next thing you know, presumably they made love. Anyway, She's also, since she is a prostitute, she hooks up with other people in town too, including this one guy named Elmer. Elmer wants to run away and marry her, kind of, but she has scars, does Joyce, literally from when she was beat up by the sheriff. Well, she goes to Elmer's father and says, hey, your boy did this to me. I want $50,000 or I'm going to turn him in. Well, it actually works. The father's going to come up with this money to give to her. But before that happens, he goes to the sheriff and says, look, I'm going to pay her $50,000, but I want you to get her the hell out of town, rough her up a little bit too. And the sheriff says, well, I can't really do that, but I'll take care of it. So he goes to Elmer, and Elmer's like, she said I did this, but I didn't do this. I don't know, but I'm going to give her this money. Elmer says, or he tells Elmer, you know, you should just run away with her and get married. And he's like, with what? And he's like, well, with $50,000 that you're going to get, or that you're going to give her. So that's his plan. So anyway, he goes, the sheriff goes out and talks to Joyce again, and Joyce thinks that she and the sheriff are going to leave town together because she thinks they're a couple, but he says, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not with you. And then she gets upset, and then he beats her up again and thinks that he's killed her. Elmer shows up, and then he ends up having to shoot Elmer because how is he going to explain one dead body? Might as well just have two and hopefully pin it on somebody else. Well, it turns out that Joyce actually lived. She didn't die. So now the sheriff is in a world of shit. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He tries to frame this other guy for it and ends up having to kill that guy too. Eventually, the police figure it all out that he's actually the one doing all this, and they go to arrest him. Right before they arrest him, he actually kills his girlfriend, Amy. Hit her really hard, I guess. Comes out, the police are waiting for him, and he sees Joyce in the car. I guess she's awake now. And he pulls out his gun, and everybody shoots him, and that's the end of our movie. So anyway, from what I've read a little bit about this today, people don't think it's a very good version of the book. I think this was remade with either Ben Affleck or Jennifer Garner, maybe both of them, I don't know, in 2010. I didn't see that one either, but it's got the same title also. So anyway, the DVD, it's a really old DVD. I think this came out in like 1997 or so. It's one of these where it's like a CD disc. If you look at it like this, it comes out, and then it's still got the little slip cover, but it's one of these here. So that's the way some of those early DVDs were. So anyway, check it out. You can get this DVD pretty cheaply. I want to say about $15 or so. It's still floating around on eBay. So check it out and let me know what you think about it. The Killer Inside Me, Stacy Keach, Susan Tyrrell. Watch it. Bye.